5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sing. Hello and welcome everybody to the BrickFeed Podcast. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Bertrand.
I'm Meso.
I'm Eljay.
And I'm Prpl.
And this is BrickFeed episode 45. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
I hate my life.
Oh, that's very good to hear.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Man, but you've had a rough time, huh?
I'm quite chipper, actually. I had a great night last night, and I've had a fairly good day today. I'm in a very good mood the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're all feeling great and Bar's feeling terrible.
I mean,
I guess
if
we're
it's
all
any
on that
consolation, my eyes feel like they're on fire.
Stop looking at the sun.
I ain't. I'm
The sun's not
looking
even out,
in a
Prpl. It's
mirror.
like 7 p.m.
Actually,
Var's,
it's 8 p.m.
Var's feeling bad. Eljay's eyes are hurting. Vin's lost his voice. But I'm feeling
I don't know, man.
happy.
It has been a very, it's spring break for me, so it's been, partly really relaxing, partly really depressing, because I'm waiting until tomorrow. I'm going to go see my parents. But the last 2 days, I've just been hanging out in my apartment, and all my roommates are gone. Actually, for the past 3 days, all my roommates are gone, and no one's in town. Like, everyone skipped town, because it's a college town. So I've been doing nothing. Zero.
That's
for the
tragic.
past, couple days.
Look on the bright side, more time to play with Lego.
My mom sent me a
Yay.
message asking when my spring break was, and I haven't responded to her yet, telling her that it had already passed.
Why? That's so mean.
Your mom, she was like, man, 9 months of labor. And that's it. He's gone.
One of these days
Nine
will
months.
fly.
Var's mother only knew him for 9 months, and then he immediately
No,
moved
I mean,
out.
not 9 months. It was an active deal.
Like, all right,
I wish.
adios,
for her.
mommy.
She was the
Boom.
most aware.
Man,
I
Yeah,
Spanish
Var's
now?
actually the youngest employee in the company we all work for.
yes.
It's actually quite a medical marvel.
Everything about me
Medical
is a marvel.
right.
Everything about
Oh,
me is a
speaking
decent.
of
Marvel
Marvel, guys. Speaking of Marvel, how
about that Iron Fist, am I right?
Yeah, let's talk about Iron Fist controversy. No.
Oh man, this isn't TTV Talks. I'd love to.
I wish they'd make
I'd love to
Lego
talk about Iron
Defenders
Fist.
sets, but they never will.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like it's.
You guys
Maybe
have the live
they might
studio
make Daredevil.
audience thinking that I'm the youngest owner now.
Wait, what?
No, just a joke. Just kidding.
No,
Where
Var
does this come
is...
from?
I'm
Yeah.
like the second oldest.
No. Meso is the youngest, which
Yeah.
unfortunately, coincidentally, makes him also the youngest in the work that we all work for,
Too right.
which drives me bonkers. But
Anyway, yeah. Let's...
yeah,
Man, yeah, let's.
No,
Maybe
exactly.
I'll
Lego.
start
I
working
want
there.
the Punisher
and I'll be the
minifigure with
younger.
all the blood.
Yes, all the blood. Let's get his let's get the episode
from
7
like the
minifigure.
from like the jail scene.
Ooh, I love blood.
Real talk. Is it just because they haven't gotten it out? Yeah.
Real talk, I love blood.
All right. Where was I going to go with that? What am I supposed to do with that? Fire, come on, have mercy on me. How am I supposed to be a host of that? Come on. I like blood. All right, Dracula.
I said I love it. Get it right. If you're going to quote me, at least get it right.
Do you think we will?
I'm trying to mitigate the
TTV
thing that
spreading
you just said.
misinformation.
Do you think we will ever
Can't even
see
do
a
quotes
Defenders
right.
set with any of the Defenders or not?
I think. Well, I think we might see a Daredevil and maybe a Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
I think we might see
in
them
the
in the same
original
vein
comic
as we
stuff.
did the Suicide Squad sets.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
thinking.
They'd be based off their original comics interpretation.
Haven't we already
So it'd
got
be
Power Man? Or am I wrong?
We already have Power Man, but that's not technically. Well, actually, it's
That's-
from the Ultimate.
Ven says we
Spider-Man,
have
so-
Iron Fist, so I'm gonna look into this. Lego.
Was it? So there's another Power Man. So let me look at Ultimate Spider-Man and see if that's the same Luke Cage.
I think it is, but you should double check that. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check that real quick. Ultimate, yeah, it is Luke Cage.
All right. Well, hey, let's
In the
do
comics, there's a new Power Man that's not Luke Cage. There's just this other black kid who has the same super strength powers and.
that. Fair enough.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if we have
That
Iron
sounds pretty
Fist,
neat.
but the page isn't loading. Vin claims we do.
Yeah, my browser's completely shutting down on me, so I can't look anything up.
It's interesting right now, talking about stuff that's releasing this Friday. Beauty and the Beast comes out this weekend. It's interesting now that,
Already?
yeah, I know,
we
right?
do have Iron Fist. So
Really?
that is cool.
Man, Ben said we do.
Yeah, Vin was right. Good guy, Vin. Came out back in
he's
2012
totally right.
in the set name
Dang.
TBD, because bit is loading. No, we do not have Daredevil. Walk site from our live studio audience asks, no, we do not have Daredevil or Jessica Jones. And we'll probably
Doc
never
Ock
get
ambush.
Punisher.
Jessica Jones. I don't think. Well, we're not.
I don't think we're ever
gonna
gonna
get
get Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever.
Unless
gonna
they
get
go like super comic book accurate with their like, what is it, her pink outfit? I forget what they call her.
the Jewel
Jade?
outfit?
The white
Jewel,
and light
Jewel,
blue.
Jewel.
Yeah, back when.
Yeah,
she
they
was,
might do a Jewel minifigure. I can't imagine them doing just a
Possibly.
normal Jessica Jones minifigure though.
I
They
figured
might.
they would.
I mean, they might have it as a Comic Con exclusive or something.
Man,
To
that's
celebrate
possible.
Defenders.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because they've done that in the past. They got the,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they did one for the Collector way back when the Guardians released. So they might do
Yeah.
an obscure thing there. We've gotten everyone else from the Defenders. Am I right? Except for Daredevil, I guess.
Correct.
So we've
Daredevil
got
and
half
Jessica
the
Jones.
defenders.
Yep.
Yeah, we got half of the Defenders. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I would ask,
But yeah,
there's no real point to ask if anybody got any Lego sets, because nobody did, right?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think so.
No.
But it is. I did build the Beast BrickHeadz,
How were they?
which I got from.
Cool.
Still really cool. I mean, it's same as everything on BrickHeadz. I recorded
BrickHeadz.
a little video I'm gonna release later, comparing Belle from Beauty and the Beast to a Funko Pop figure of Belle. So,
Nice.
all in time for the movie coming out, just so you guys can kind of get a look at that both.
I got a
So that
custom
goes.
white Culta BIONICLE mask painted by the one, the only Vin at his custom painted mask shop now with international shipping. Anyway.
Yeah.
good job.
So yeah,
Cool.
like paid promotional advertisement. That's great.
Did he
I
pay
wish
for
It
I
it?
was
almost
paid.
sounds like it's an actual shop, like outside with like it just got international shipping. There's like trucks waiting outside ready to send shipments out to people, and it's like
Right.
just like in Vin's room.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I think of international shipping, my mind just immediately goes to Santa Claus, because I think of like the dude like going all around the world and dropping off packages. Just
Venta Claus.
exactly.
Incredible.
Wow.
Well, there's some. We got some interesting Lego related news today. So let's jump in if no one has any sets
Jump
to talk
in.
about. The number one story that came out this last week was Lego's annual report. They do an annual report every year, obviously enough. It's why it's called annual. Detailing a bunch of stuff about their company, what they're doing.
Let us peel
all
back the
sorts of
curtain on
news.
this intrigue and revelations contained therein.
Okay. Oh, you weren't gonna. Okay, awesome, yeah. I thought you were actually gonna. Like,
Yeah,
lead
it
into
sounded like you're
something.
about to say something.
Yeah, sorry.
Did he
Um,
cut out?
I don't
You
know.
might have. Hello,
Must
Meso?
Meso say something?
Like we got to keep.
Oh
in
my
mind,
god, they assassinated Meso.
he's
That
not on the
curtain
call
can't be pulled
anymore.
Back. Yeah, he's not gonna.
Oh, I know
He's
there
in
he
call
is.
for me.
He's in
Yeah,
the
no,
call
he's
for
there.
me.
Really?
Wonder if
Yeah,
he's
sorry,
still
I heard
talking on
something
his
come from-
recording.
Yeah,
Maybe his internet like blew out or something.
I don't know.
He's not.
I'm still
I
here.
heard him for like a quick second.
Yeah, I
See,
did
okay,
too.
Did you hear that? I
Yeah.
think his spirit tried to communicate with us from the afterlife. It's like phasing in.
He pulled
Spirit of
back
Meso,
the
we
curtain
can
on
hear
his
us.
own murder.
Incredible.
Is he typing?
I'm still
he
here,
is.
guy.
Okay,
I never left. The message just lagged for a second.
Oh,
That was longer than a second.
that was a long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
several seconds.
Okay, what were you saying, Meso?
All right. Well,
All right, so let's pull back the curtain.
Oh my gosh.
Let's pull
Oh,
back the
man.
curtain on how crappy our podcast is.
Phenomenal.
There you go.
I love he can only comment about
just
whatever
to
he's trying
comment
to
on
say. It's like someone's literally like trying to stop him from saying it, and everything else afterwards he can totally say. All right, try it one more time.
I wasn't even. It's the worst part. I wasn't even saying anything. I was just like.
You were
I
just saying,
forget
"Let's
what
pull
I
back
was
the
saying
curtain."
now. I was making a quip about like, let's pull back the curtain on all the reveals contained in the annual report. Like, there's no reveals because it's like it's obvious stuff. That's all. That was my stupid joke.
Nice. Was it worth it?
No, it wasn't. Carry on.
Can we leave this in? That was funny.
I mean, it's not going to
Wait,
show
wait.
up on, you know.
It's not going to show on the recording. That's the only thing.
Aw.
Meso will still be talking on his recording. So unless we have
Oh.
AT, like
Just carry on.
configure.
No.
Just carry on.
All right.
All right, so let's back to the news. Lego annual report says that they had 335 new products released in this last year, and of course the big themes that drove the company for the last year is Lego City, Star Wars, Ninjago, Friends, Creator, and Duplo.
How many
So this is all
sets
for
did they have
2016.
come out?
335.
35 of those are Bionicle.
Phenomenal.
That's true. Do you know what's not listed?
Bionicle.
City Star Wars Ninjago Friends creator Duplo. So
They didn't list Bionicle in last year's either.
they did not.
No.
Though these are the greatest revenue.
It sold
Yeah.
well, guys.
Theme, so-
No.
It sold well.
I mean, it probably did for construction, but
It did for a line born to fail.
Hashtag for construction.
that does this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, except maybe Friends. I always knew Friends was doing well, but I just didn't know it was like at the top tier, really, really well. But I mean, I guess it is still continuing, so it's doing something right.
Wait, Friends? A surprise? No, not at all. Friends is crazy popular.
Yep.
Friends is, I mean, it's crazy popular. It's just that we don't. It's funny because
None of us here
as part
care.
of, we don't hear about it.
What?
Anywhere, I feel.
But Prpl,
I feel like we
you're a girl. Don't you want my girlfriend?
Honestly, the
It's
only
elves.
girl themed thing I like is elves, but that's because of the dragons. So
I mean,
that was probably
yeah,
obvious.
Elves is like...
Elves is
it's-
pretty
it's
cool.
the Friends
Elves is
kind of,
pretty cool.
you know...
It's the
route,
friends, but not corny.
Yeah, but Elves is really cool. That is a
Yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
theme.
It's funny because and I totally understand. I've done the research. Their target audience loves the Friends dolls,
They
so
suck.
they're keeping that. But I don't like them to the point that that's why I don't buy elf sets. I will completely admit.
Well,
Yeah,
they're good-
I don't want
dragons.
Friends
Well-designed
dolls
sets.
either.
Given that,
Well-designed sets, but-
Friends is such a success, I don't think they're going away anytime soon.
No, and I mean totally. The people I've talked to, the kids that I know that play with Lego.
They should make a theme consisting of nothing but big figs. I bet it'd get on the
Oh
list.
dear God.
Oh dear God!
Yeah.
That's why we don't.
I guess Duplo technically is kind of a big fig. It's compatible with Lego, and it's a giant figure.
And
So
I remember
go.
when we first heard the announcement for Lego Friends, and I legitimately thought that it was like the sitcom. So we were gonna get like
I remember
little
that.
Lego
Lego,
Jennifer
Lego
Aniston.
Joey, Lego Chandler, Lego Phoebe.
Yeah.
it would be great.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was what we were getting. Nope.
I think we had a bit of a debate back and forth too, with that, didn't we?
I don't think.
I
It was
don't know
about
what it was
superhero
about.
girls. It wasn't about Friends. particularly.
Maybe.
Yeah. Nah.
Friends is whatever, Friends is very successful.
Does well.
So
Very successful. I the models are really cool. If you like the creator kind of of normal buildings, Friends
Yeah,
has some of the best designs in
It's
the
like
business.
City, but with more personality.
Exactly.
I guess.
That's a great way of putting it.
and then Jago's still on the list, right?
Oh, Ninjago's still on the list. Ninjago's a powerhouse.
Yeah,
That's why they're getting a movie.
Ninjago.
Love Ninjago. Hands of Times, the episodes, we're getting closer and closer to having actual watchable episodes of Hands of Time.
It's premiered in the
It's
UK.
They are
When-
teasing us with every little.
Yeah, when does it premiere in the US?
We don't
Who
know.
freaking knows,
Why
man?
does it take so long?
I don't know. It just aired in the UK yesterday.
According to
What's
our
going
live
on?
studio audience, Magic Ninja, a bunch of numbers. It's going to come out March 25th in the States.
Incredible. Almost 4 months into the year.
Well, it's funny because it's produced in is it produced into Toronto around that area,
Canada or something.
Canada, right? And it's dubbed the voice actors are all of the English voice actors. So it's made and it's animated and everything with these guys in mind. They produce it. They don't air it in English speaking countries
Vancouver, by the way.
Vancouver, right? Not Toronto.
Thank you once again, Magic Ninja numbers.
Lego's always done that with their shows because I remember even with Hero Factory, it was Breakout aired in Russia 3 months before it actually made its way into the US.
I don't
Yeah, but it's a
get
TV
it.
show. Why? Why?
It's just
I mean,
the Bionicle animations when those were made
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they were told we were told that they were made with the English voice acting in mind when they made them, and that was the original format, and then it was overdubbed for all the other
Yep,
languages.
and yet it got
yet
leaked in other
somehow
languages.
it got released in every other place except for the US.
Totally did happen.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, I wonder what the reasoning is behind that. Obviously, I don't think
There must
the
be
US
something,
did
right?
Stuff before, yeah, it has to be.
Maybe it's
It's
just
all the time with Lego.
when they can get time slots or something. It's all sporadic throughout different
Yeah, but that
countries'
doesn't
channels.
explain the Bionicle thing
I
because
wonder-
they didn't have time slots. It was just released online.
I wonder if the Ninjago thing right now has anything to do with another thing that was mentioned in this press release, which was sales in the United States compared to other markets. According to this,
I was about to get to that.
Yeah.
That is relevant.
I do want to get to that in a second. Although I will say right now, I don't really think that's the case. because that's only a recent thing. It's a recent development, and Lego's been doing this for a very long while. Like this isn't a new thing where like
Is this
things
a recent
always
thing?
come out.
Are you sure about
the
that?
recent thing about the Lego not doing well in the US. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I guess that's true.
Right, and it wouldn't affect, like, this is results it just got from 2016. It would not have affected production and release for a TV show coming out this year. Those things are decided a long time beforehand. It's not like they wake up one day and they're like, oh, what are we doing today? Do you want to do Ninjago? No, we're doing, like, freaking SpongeBob or something, so let's push that another week. But real quick, Lego's revenue has increased by 6% this last year, so it did increase in revenue, overall revenue. It just did not... it wasn't enough to beat Mattel. If you guys remember back in 2014, they actually finally overtook Mattel and were the number one toy company. But it's kind of gone back again. They lose out number one last year.
They've lost out to Mattel?
Yeah.
What is Mattel even producing right now?
Don't they do like
figures.
Transformers and My Little Pony, or is that Hasbro?
That's Hasbro.
No, that's Hasbro.
It's Hasbro.
Yeah, that's Hasbro.
I
Okay,
think
I
Mattel
have no
does
idea.
Barbie.
Mattel does do Barbie.
And
still
Barbie
popular?
is outselling.
Our live studio audience
Well, I
member,
mean, like-
Noob, a lot of more numbers. He says also Hot
1,
Wheels.
2, 3, 4.
And they also have Mega Blocks or Mega Constructs now as
Oh,
well.
I guess they do own Mega Blocks. That definitely.
Curse you, Mega
What
Blocks.
a world we live in where Mega Bloks is doing better than Lego.
Well, it's because Mega Blocks is wrapped in with Barbie.
Yeah,
Like, if
They got
obviously,
the
but
power
that's
of
like-
numbers. It's still funny.
Yeah, essentially it's like if Disney had a thing where it's like, oh, this is our Lego lines, and also, we also own all our,
Right.
our action figure stuff. So Mattel also does like a ton of just action figures overall, and like anything that's not constructible. So
Interesting.
Mega Blocks itself doesn't outsell Lego by any means. But
Oh,
the
no,
entire
no,
company does.
no. No way.
Well, fair enough.
And let's see. They also we talked about this before. They opened a ton of new factories, and they're wanting to expand the factory production and all that stuff. I think they built one in. I'm gonna grab the thing here so I can actually give you an accurate
Please do.
list of all the
Accuracy
factories.
is important. No
It is
misinformation.
very. Yeah, I know, right?
Get it. Hooray.
hurry.
Evil
They-
Isaac.
okay, they are. Listen, they're wanting some in Hungary and Mexico.
That's
Don't
nice
they have
for
one in
Hungary.
Mexico?
Mexico.
Didn't they just very
China.
recently open one up in Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about. That the annual report is going over last year what they did. They opened one recently in Mexico, Hungary, and China. So those they're
Neato.
expanding. They're wanting to expand to the Chinese market a lot, actually, which is good that they're finally doing that because the Chinese market has been plagued by bootlegs.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
Yeah. That was a
Wait.
big deal. I think they're still in court proceedings regarding that.
yep.
So
That's
is
part
this?
Go on.
Sorry, it wasn't really directly related to this. I was
Okay,
just
well,
going through Mattel's website and looking at their stuff.
If you, all right, I'll say something real quick, and you can go.
Yeah,
on
go
to
ahead.
the Mattel thing. All right, so this is part of the thing that if you heard about the TPP, that was kind of a big deal a while ago. The U.S. has stepped down from that. I think the trade negotiations have gone down. The big deal between that is that it would essentially enable trade between the Chinese markets and the kind of the Eastern and the Western markets, essentially. And you'd be able to trade back and forth between them, and they would also have a lot of regulations put on them related to intellectual property and all that stuff. Because in Eastern markets, if you've ever been to Asia, intellectual property is a joke. It's just bootlegs abound in multiple quantities. Pirated copies of everything exist. It's just everywhere. So they wanted to get on that same page. Now that also meant people didn't like it because it also was, they were trying to enforce stuff like, net neutrality and all that stuff. And that was a whole deal with it. But now that's breaking down, Lego's taking on into their own hands, trying to get the court proceedings like Eljay was talking about, and also get a production company in China and expand into that market. And it's worked out for them so far. They've been doing very well. And they do need to grow towards the area of the globe because, again, we're going to get to this later on. The US is not doing well. Var, what are you going to say of Mattel?
I was just going through the Mattel website to see what products they were selling. So is the superhero girls thing just a general thing? I thought that was a Lego thing.
No, it's a transmedia project. It's a TV show that DC's doing, and it's also dolls. It's like Barbie style dolls, and then it's also Lego Friends style.
Because I'm seeing the dolls here on Mattel's website. They're also selling superhero girls dolls with
We saw those at Target and Brick Fair.
We did.
Were like Harley
We did.
Quinn's epic jumping power.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and we were like, why is Harley Quinn a superhero now? Why is she she's like a murderous psychopath, and then
A strong
somewhere along the
female
line,
parent.
she was like, "Well, she's a strong female. She's a good role model for little girls."
yeah.
It's like, okay, sure.
Man, I forgot about that.
Poison
And
Ivy's there, too.
nobody knows about what was that in one of the videos we released? One of the vlogs?
I don't think so.
It's-
Not one of the ones we released, I don't think.
Darn it. I know we have it on video.
I don't actually know if we have it on
a ton
video.
of stuff on video.
Super jumping power.
Pretty sure do.
But yeah, okay. Do you want to jump in
Interesting.
and talk about the U.S. right now, or like?
Hey, go for it.
All right, let's do this. Wall Street Journal. They made an article about this. It's based off what was released in the annual report. Lego fails to click in the U.S. They say, and this is actually this is interesting. This is annual sales. Lego versus Mattel. I don't know if you guys can see that. But Lego is closing in on Mattel. I know it's in Martell's, but
Mattel
it's
is
still
shrinking.
This
Right.
is just in
Now-
the States, right? Or is this worldwide?
This is. That's a good question. They don't
Because
actually say.
it says the world's biggest toy maker, so I don't know if
Yeah,
that's...
at the same time,
Yeah,
is
I-
this really
Yeah, but
representative
It's
says
red,
of...
white, and blue. So
The only
obviously
reason
it's
I
American.
ask is because
Nice.
is this really representative of the worldwide competition between the two? Because like a year or two ago, Lego overtook Mattel. So
Well,
wouldn't-
see, Lego was, I believe what happened there is that Lego had the most profit, but they didn't have the most annual sales, if that makes sense. Because
Ish.
this is by annual sales, not actually what is the biggest toy
Oh,
company. Right?
I see. Okay.
Right. So Mattel might have sold a lot more, but they also spent way more money to the point where Lego topped them because they spent less money. They just made the Lego movie, and then that all that stuff kind of came out. Yeah.
Okay, I
Makes a lot of
guess I
sense.
can see.
So that is what I believe right now. I looked into it. If that's wrong, just feel free to correct me in the comments. As long as you research first to make sure you know what you're talking about. But the big deal is that this last year we've had sharply decreasing sales in the U.S. Even though Lego grew 6% in revenue worldwide, U.S. sales were flat for this year, and it's been a thing for for kind of recently, the last couple of years. Mattel now they mentioned here Mattel also owns American Girl and Monster High as well, which also have stumbled recently. Apparently those two like franchises aren't doing well either. Mattel really kind of focuses around the doll market, so that
That's
if you
fine.
guys know about American Girl dolls, they're kind of
How
like
will we go
historical-
on without
yeah, well,
Monster
Highs.
High? I don't know if we
I
can manage
kind of
it.
didn't know that was
Same.
still around.
I didn't know that
I'm
was
hearing
still
about
around
that.
either.
I didn't know that was
Yeah,
a
I
thing.
thought that kind of wasn't that a TV show or something at some point too? On, like,
Yeah,
Cartoon
that was really
Network?
popular
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah, when I was like a real
Wow,
young.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
Monster
it was like
High can still be around and freaking Bionicle can't? What the heck?
I thought it was like more of a recent thing, like within the past 5
I
years.
don't-
Were you really like that young? Or
I don't think it was.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
it
was
was
a child. Remember, we just established he was like
5
a toddler
years.
earlier.
Let me see.
Yeah, check out when Monster High came out. But anyhow,
Yeah, I
let's
launched in
see.
2010. That's when Bionicle ended. I would still say I was a kid then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was before we started this this
Yeah.
podcast. So
man.
around that time, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little bit after
Monster
we started
High
it.
is as old as TTV.
Yeah.
Tragic.
It's gonna be like what 7, 8 this year.
Yeah, I was like 12 when it came out.
Well,
you were so little.
You were
It's funny
littler.
because Lego does make a point to note that they tried to increase marketing. They significantly increased marketing in the U.S. and yet sales stayed the same.
Weird.
And they expanded the factory in Mexico to address what they figured would be higher demand for the second half of the year, but still stagnant. Nothing's happening. Bali Pada is Lego COO, and he was basically saying that they have no idea. They don't fully understand what's going on in the U.S. He was quoted by the Wall Street Journal saying, "This is something new to us, and we're trying to understand what needs to happen." And he added later on that Lego's analyzing whether like consumer preferences were changing or like the marketing spending was misdirected and caused sales to flatten.
Needs more Bionicle TV shows.
I'm starting to see a pattern here, guys. Like this is the year we have started getting heavily into system, and now we're pretty much almost all based in the States, outside of like Fluffy, who's never here. So I'm starting to think.
So you're saying we're a curse, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We start posting Bionicle.
It's like, look what happened to Bionicle
And then we were like, oh, okay, yes, we're going to the system. And then people are like, oh, system's stagnating.
I know,
I
it's
have no
stagnating.
idea
It's
why.
like they're big fans of Lego until they listen to us, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Wow,
And
these
Lego
is this what I sound like? Oh no!"
Like a
they
monster's
stop
doing
playing
fine.
Lego.
Let's go over there. Let's get into Transformers. Oh, tragic. Absolutely tragic. Well, I mean, stagnation's better than massive drop-offs. You know.
Yeah, no, it totally is, but it is worrisome because they're trying to expand their reach into the public conscious, and we as U.S. people, like, you know, that's really important to us. We need to have marketing, we need to have stuff applied. If bigger markets are somewhere like, you know, like China or Europe, they might stop producing stuff that's English-centric. That's an extreme. I don't mean to say as a thing, but I'm saying that, like, that is a worrisome thing, like, you know, to think about, like, as people who are in the U.S. that love Lego, what happens when the U.S. as a whole start paying attention to it?
I don't think you get rid of the product.
What do you guys think could be the reasonings behind this, or like the reason behind why sales have stagnated?
I mean, I just think toys are less popular in general nowadays.
I think that combined with Lego sets getting more expensive, like they're kind of marketing things a little bit more toward an older audience, especially with the bigger sets that tend to be in the hundreds, 200s. And parents really don't want to bother getting that for their children.
Yeah, you say that, but I saw a lot of kids. We went to the Lego store.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's
like, I went to the store
possibly
the other day, and
contributing.
the Batman and the Joker and the balloon set, the smallest thing for the Lego Batman movie, like, because of inflation or whatever, the set's prices jumped so much. 10 years ago, that set would have been like $8, and now it was $15.
Wait, the Lego Batman set?
Yeah, the one with the balloon.
With the Joker.
Wasn't that $10?
At my Walmart, it's $14.99.
I
don't know
gotta
if
look
that's
this
the
up. Give
official
me a sec.
price or not, but that is how much it was being sold for.
I mean, I remember looking at it and being like, I want this, and then looking at the price and being like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
So
$15
that very well could be.
$15. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not worth that much, honestly,
Quite right.
by any stretch of the imagination.
And
Oh,
yes,
no.
I will also definitely concede that actual physical toys likely are not at the same caliber they used to be because of the advent of technology. Give a kid a phone and he'll play app games and stuff. You know, you don't need to build. Pretty soon, one day, we're going to get the VR experience. Don't need to build.
LDD, VR.
Yeah, seriously,
I mean,
that's the
You
future.
joke. That's
It's funny.
very, very likely.
It's funny because there has been, though, like, whenever technology starts to go on an upswing, there's a kind of like hipsterish movement that pushes back. I was reading recently about how records are doing now better than they have in the past 30 some years. Like physical records you put in the record player, people are going back into those. I saw another thing about like how
love the hipsters.
there's definitely like there's an advent for like older books in physical form, like classics and stuff.
Yes,
that people,
I saw
want,
that
like
here.
hardcovers.
Yeah. Like there's been a decrease of digital book sales because people want to get into physical books.
Lame.
Which is like, I'm sitting here going,
Which is stupid.
It paid off. My
Nah.
love of physical
Well, no,
is...
they
Listen,
remember now. If you
Digital
look
books
at
are the way it's at.
What's it? The digital books thing. Funny. They're in the comments of that article. There's a guy who's from a printing company saying we've been steadily losing sales for the past 10 years. I don't know what this guy's talking about. So I do feel like there might be a disconnect between when people want a physical book, they want a really nice like high quality thing. Like I'll admit, I think like for general BIONICLE books, ebooks is the way to go. But I went to Var's house. I looked at the art book, the physical art book. That's way better to hold in your hand than the
All
the
books are
ebook
way better
version.
in your hand.
Production
Well, no,
values
it's because
means
they're-
something.
yeah, exactly. It's a hardcover. It's an actual, the physical product is way better when it's well done. But like the usual like paperback for the Scholastic books, you can
Nobody
skip that.
cares about that.
Nobody cares about that. So kind of going back into it, like it is a thing where now what could be done? Like if you're right now, we have a mess. We can tell the Lego group what should you do to improve sales in the U.S. What do you guys say? What would you be your thing?
Bring back BIONICLE. It worked the last time. Well,
Did
okay.
it?
Sorry.
Really?
I forgot that they brought it back for a second. When I say last time, I mean the first run.
The time before last time.
The time before
The
time.
Good grief.
I don't know. I don't understand like why it could be a thing other than
Yeah, nah. I have
Dude,
no
oh
idea.
my god, every time I watch Mask of Light now, whenever Rakama says the time before time, I'm gonna think he's referring to the time before G2 happened.
Well,
In the
technically.
time before time, BIONICLE was good.
maybe
Way better than this
Lego's
trash.
doing too much with licensed properties, leading to too high of price. I don't know. Maybe like more original themes. I don't know.
Maybe, and like people would just be more likely to buy like other products that are from that line or whatever, like other Star Wars things and stuff.
I don't know. I think licensed properties are doing really well, though. I feel like that's a huge selling point for Lego, and a lot of people will wait to get stuff from licensed
I'm really
stuff.
curious, though. What is this statistic coming from? Is this coming from the stores that sell Lego, or is it coming from Lego who sells to the stores? Unless stores are buying Lego.
What do you mean?
What?
Oh, you're talking about...
which statistic are we talking about?
The one where sales are declining.
This is coming from the Lego report, right?
This is coming from the Lego,
which means
this is like a quote from the Lego CEO. So
this means that their own, it's coming straight from Lego. It's likely stock being purchased by U.S. retailers that it's including.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because keep in mind, if people aren't buying sets from retailers aren't buying sets from Lego.
Yeah,
they don't restock the shelves if their shelves aren't.
Over the last 2 years, I have noticed a much greater turnover rate in my local stores. Lego sets are on shelves far shorter than they used to be. They're exchanged out, put on clearance, and replaced with other products on a very regular pace. Every 3 months or so, the stock changes, and the shelves get rearranged, and some products just go missing, and some products get swapped out. And that didn't used to happen. It used to be like everything would remain consistent until the new wave came out and they'd swap it in and out. So perhaps that is a sign, like certain themes that don't sell well get replaced. That 2 years ago was around when they stopped selling all the sets for waves at Target or Walmart respectively, and they split the stock between both. You know, like they didn't used to do that. And then that became a thing, so maybe.
Yeah, we've talked before, though, how, like, stores and stuff going, like, like stores being restocked, we don't know what that means. Like, if you go on your your local store and you see an empty shelf where the Lego aisle is, you don't know what that means. Does that mean that a lot of people loved Lego and they bought it, and that's why the store needs to restock? Or does it mean the store is not restocking because it's not selling well, and then they've slowly run out of supply?
Yeah.
We don't know, like, the empty store shelves we don't know if that means if it's selling well or selling poorly. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of at a loss, honestly. I wouldn't know what to tell the Lego company if they're like,
how do you guys
think
we
we should
like
market?
Yeah,
this
isn't really something that I would think about, to be honest.
I feel like it's something that, like, for us too, we try to market to Lego fans. So if the fan base in the US grows, our national audience grows with it. Which is why I feel it is kind of important to just kind of understand what is captivating kids and what isn't from our perspective. So, like, what videos do we make? What videos do we not make? But yeah, I don't know.
I like
that's
this post
kind of
from Magic Ninja 6195. I remember how many Pohata Uniters and Ketars are taking up space from the other sets at my Toys R Us.
It's because it's a bad set.
Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Anyway.
All right. Well, that's basically it.
I'd like to be the guy that works for Toys R Us like years from now, and the Toys R Us is just like, okay, we are never going to sell these Pohatus and Ketars, and they're just like, anyone want these?
Yeah,
I'd be like, I would be that guy. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Just grab the whole bunch.
Grab them all, sell them on eBay for an actual profit.
All right, what's next?
All right. Next up, we have a designer interview with the designer of BrickHeadz, Austin Carlson. Brickset. I apologize. Brickset did an interview with him, and he talked about the creation of BrickHeadz and how that came to be. Actually, really interesting. Turns out that he built BrickHeadz initially for a coworker. Like, he built a little elephant for her, and everyone that came by really liked it. And so they he kind of kept experimenting with it. He actually made this thing called BrickHeadz and put it up on Flickr a couple years before he was hired by the Lego group, and that kind of went mini viral. A lot of people were really paying attention to it, looking at it. So once he decides to pitch it to the Lego company, he and a bunch of others made 300 models, 300 completely different models, and they showcase it to them. And then they went and they refined the list and everything. So
that's cool.
But, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Another cool thing is that he's a BZ Power member. He first came into the community through BZ Power. So presumably he was a BIONICLE fan too. He doesn't really say that necessarily in the article, but
the implication
is
there.
The implication is that he was a BIONICLE fan.
It's kind of in their name, BIONICLE's own power.
Right, exactly.
Kind of think.
Is that what it's? Wait.
Don't you dare!
Or something?
Oh my god!
No,
here we
be
go.
quiet.
Wait, this has been a recent thing with you. You've been like, there's stuff we thought everyone knew, and then you've been like, wait.
What?
You
didn't never assume that I know something.
Evidently.
Congratulations, you just found out that BZ actually stands for something.
Wait, what's the Z?
Okay, that's it. Conversation's over.
Let me give you a
Zone.
history.
Oh, this is BIONICLE.
Okay, Prpl. It was two sites, the BIONICLE Zone
We don't need
community
to do this.
and Kanohi Power, and they
Yeah,
merged.
She's not
don't.
gonna remember.
BIONICLE Zone Power.
If you tried to quiz her on this 5 minutes after this discussion, she'll get an F.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it hilarious. We were looking over that she thought the site stood for BIONICLES. Like, when Z was at the end of like BrickHeadz.
No, like when you said, I didn't know it stood for anything, but then like when you said it was like
BrickHeadz.
BIONICLES.
I love that acronym. BHZ. Of course. Yeah. I picked up some new BHZ sets.
I tried to find this guy's username. Couldn't find what he's connected to, or like, who he used to be in the fandom. It'd be kind of interesting if he was someone some member that everyone kind of knew of back in the day.
That would be cool. And like,
you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Reminds me of all the comments that we get sometimes every now and then. It's usually from people that like are new subscribers that just sign up and they don't really like understand the channel. I was comment like, wait, so isn't your channel name the Three Virtues channel?
Right.
And it always gets me. It always makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Like, sure it is. Yeah.
Whenever people refer to us as the Three Virtues, it does trigger me because we haven't been known as that for years.
You know who
we haven't gone as the Three Virtues in so long.
Fail will always refer to us as the Three Virtues, no matter what. BZ Power. Conversations come around.
Whenever we're mentioned, that's what it is.
Every time, yeah.
Every single time, no matter what. If it's a news article, if they're talking about us somewhere, the Three Virtues.
I mean, we should just refer to him as
here's the thing, right?
Kanohi Power.
Here's the thing, even if we were still even if we were still going by the Three Virtues as like the meaning for TTV, it's still right? It's not like we wouldn't call it the Three Virtues channel because it's not a channel about three virtues, it's a channel about the Three Virtues, and we are the channel for the Three Virtues. Therefore, the Three Virtues channel is still correct.
No, it's still correct. It's like DC Comics. DC stands for Detective Comics, so it's technically Detective Comics Comics.
No.
Comments make me mad.
DC stands for something?
Oh my gosh. Okay, no. There's one final thing. She can't get this wrong. Prpl. Okay. KFC. Think that stands for anything?
Oh. Okay.
My.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay, there you go. Oh boy. You are stressing me out more than I need today.
Kentucky starts with a K?
Do you know why they changed the KFC? You know why they
like to think you're joking.
No, like, they literally did the same thing we did. They're only known as KFC. All the signs only say KFC now. And I remember seeing this, like, there's a post on Reddit once that was like, oh, they're trying to distance themselves from Kentucky because it's an American thing and they wanted to appear international. And like one of the representatives went on Reddit and said, no, it's because Kentucky Fried Chicken has a lot of letters. KFC is 3. It's cheaper to make a sign of 3 letters. That's why. That's it.
Yeah. I like that logic.
And listen, you never go, oh, the Three Virtues? Yeah, that's what I remember. You go TTV. That's what everybody calls us, TTV.
Yeah. In case anyone's wondering, TTV doesn't stand for anything.
Yeah, okay?
It doesn't stand for the Three Virtues anymore.
It's just...
Make up
standing for that years
ideas,
ago.
show us your headcanons or whatever.
You
shut
your mouth, DC.
It's like IGN. What does IGN stand for? No one really cares.
Well, what about
it's just
MSNBC?
International Game Network, I think.
Internet
it used to stand for something. Right.
It used to stand for something. It lost its morals.
But now...
No, it's just shilling and
it's just empty.
It's like NSNBC. Does anyone know what that stands for?
What happened to you?
I need to write this down so I can keep track of the letters.
You used to stand for something, now you sit for everything. Now,
same.
Let's wrap up this podcast.
All right. One last article. Adweek did an interview with Dan Lin, who's CEO of Lin Pictures, and he's a producer of the Lego movies. And they did an interview with him, about all the stuff that went on in the movie, how he came to, to produce it. One thing that he said that he produced like Sherlock Holmes and a bunch of other movies. He wanted to do something of his kid, that his kid could go see. And they did Lego. He went to Lego, he pitched it, and went to Warner Brothers and pitched it too. And Warner Brothers hired a firm called NRG to do a market study of the movie and see how it would do. And, NRG told him it would only have middling success.
The NRG Dragon?
I was just thinking that.
Exactly. No, it's a conspiracy. They said it would not be a big hit or a big failure. It would just be in the middle. And so they like, it was a hard sell for him to try to get them to do the Lego movie, but they did it. And by the time it came out, it was a huge, like, crazy success. A success no one kind of, imagined at that point. So.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I am tying all the way back to the annual market review. I wonder how 2017 is going to look. Next year, looking back at the success of the movies. Yeah, Batman and Ninjago, I wonder if the US is going to, like, skyrocket in sales, or if it remains the same, if sales in the US remain the same after these two movies come out, there's a legitimate issue here. something's going wrong with how marketing's being handled. Because movies are possibly the best marketing for the Lego company that they can do. And especially when it's a good movie, very highly received. Lego Batman's highly received. Lego Ninjago probably will be. I don't know what to do if that doesn't, like, I don't know what the Lego company's going to do if it doesn't work out.
I think it's fairly easy to surmise if like sales remain the same and the marketing is a problem. We can assume that they promoted the people who handled Bionicle's marketing in Generation 2.
Yeah, they're in charge of the whole thing now.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? We love the way you turned that very successful IP and just shoved it into the ground. You're hired. You're promoted. Good job. Do that to the rest of our company.
Movie contest. Take pictures of things that look like a Batman cowl. And get golden anything. Anyway,
real quick, on the feature of the Lego movies, he says they want them to go wide and then deep, which means that they want to do a whole range of. My same reaction. This is a quote from the article. This is what this dude said.
We need to cut this out.
Don't need to cut anything out.
It's going to go. Apparently, they want to do a whole range of Lego movies, and then they want to go back in the Lego movie too. Go wide, then deep.
Yes, we just established. I was 9 months old, and then I left, and now I'm here.
Incredible.
There we go. That's it. That's his direct quote. So, direct your hate towards Adweek. Dan and Lin.
You know, all these things we just talked about are very profound and interesting. However, the only thing I keep thinking about is that somewhere there's a kid out there who's going to grow up and have a Prpl moment when he realizes the NRG actually it's like energy dragon.
Yep.
Some kid out there doesn't realize that is energy. He's going to have a Prpl moment. He's going to be like, oh, it's energy!
He's going to watch the Lego Ninjago movie.
I think Lloyd. I think Kezapar might be having that moment right now. And he's typing, no.
I do. Good old Kezapar. I believe you knew. I believe you, buddy.
Yeah, I believe you. Wink.
To be fair, it is confusing because NRG does not stand for anything. You're just supposed to say it out loud. So I actually can see that, like, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm
someone being confusing.
There are totally kids out there that did not realize that.
Yeah, no, it stands for something. Nice rockin' grandmas. NRG.
You are...
It still bothers me how years, like... It's been like 5 years. They made those NRG minifigures, and they weren't actually in the show. It still bothers me to this day.
Well, they technically were.
No,
it was
their
just
designs were not
it
on
was
the
like
show.
yes and no. It was like their
the
true
spirit
potential
of the form was in the show, but they looked nothing like the minifigures.
Yeah, nah.
All right.
Well, that's very fair. All right, well, that's about it. Anyone else have anything to say about Lego? Real quick before we wrap it up here.
Not really. The chat's like, okay, if anybody wants a fun time, join the live studio audience. Subscribe to us on Patreon. We have great fun here.
Patreon.com/the channel. We have lots of fun interacting with our live studio audience. What's going on in the chat right now is hilarious.
The fans are great. Like, all you guys who are subscribing to the Patreon and help make this whole thing a collaborative process. I really appreciate all of you. Vin's in the chat too. He's lost his voice. Everybody send well wishes to TTV's Vin because he's sick.
Forget well wishes.
Tell him he
your
sucks.
request to his mask shop. You can find on board.ttvchannel.com.
Maybe don't do that now in case like he coughs on the mask and sends it to you.
Oh, it's okay. There's already a flu that went all across the nation. I think.
It's like, Meso, you better be careful with that Wii he sent you. He probably just coughed right all over it.
I also got a Wii from him. It's a no Wii console.
When you said Wii, I didn't realize you meant like a Nintendo Wii.
Okay. Never mind. You know what?
Right. Sure.
If Var's 12, you are 11. You know what? I give.
All right, that's enough. We're wrapping up. Thanks for joining us for the BrickFeed Podcast. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Var.
I'm Meso.
I'm Eljay.
And I'm Prpl.
And this was the BrickFeed
I
Podcast.
changed my mind.
We'll see you again next week. This is why we don't have both of you guys on anymore. I realize this.
You know what? I give Prpl. You guys are like in your 80s. You're wrinkly prunes. Well,
I'm pulling the abort. I'm pulling like the little ripcord.
This needs to end. We can't do this today.
Abort mission.
It did.
It's already ended. We said we ended it. We're done.